Hi, good afternoon and welcome. My name is Kimberly Lechnick. Welcome to Intentional Pathways by Design, where we are always talking about everything relationships, personal and professional, and business and all of it. I am so excited to have our guest here today with us, Jesse Cruz, author, speaker, all things you're going to learn about him. Welcome, Jesse.
Thank you so much for having me, Kimberly.
Absolutely. And it is just such an honor. And I'm so excited to get started talking about building community. But before we do that, we're going to start out with this quote, and we cannot wait to hear what you think about Bell Hook's quote that I'm about to read. One of the most vital ways we sustain ourselves is by building communities of resistance, places where we know we are not alone. What do you think about that?
Wow. I couldn't agree more. I think building relationships in a safe environment is one of the most healthiest things a person can do. Not only is it healthy for them as a person, like it's healthy for everybody around them. Because when a person steps into building those relationships, everybody around them who's connected to them, everybody else gets better because one person made a decision that I want to surround myself with the right people.
Mm. And tell us, Jesse, tell us more about how do we define who the right people are?
Right. So I think it's first starting with the direction that you're heading. So it's like a GPS. If you're trying to end up in this destination, you must look at the routes how to get there. And some people have a route that is a distraction, which is like under construction zone. They're taking you away from your destination. You have some people who are going to take the long way to the destination. You have some people taking the scenic route. You have some people taking the most direct route. As long as you're taking at least the direction that's heading you towards the final destination, you're on the right track. And it's learning to avoid certain roads and traffic jams that are closed, that are slowing your progress and your pace, and deciding which people have already arrived or at least visited or have at least been to your destination at least once in their life, no matter what area it is, and then getting in closer proximity and building relationships with them because they have already traveled down the path to get there, and it's following the path, or they can provide you with a better path on how to get to where they've already arrived.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Cannot wait to hear more. So let's dive in and talk about the importance of building community. And with that being said, what does it mean? What does it mean to build community?
It means to be intentional about the relationships you invest in. So the greatest investment a person can make is investing into the relationships to the people around them. And it takes time, just like building trust takes time. And one of the core foundations of building healthy relationships is trust and communication. And so when you have those two components, you can build a community of a dream team of supporters who can help you get to that next level, whether that's in your relationships, whether it's in your health or your finances or your spirituality. It's about having people in different areas of your life who can hold you accountable to getting you to that next stage in your life. So building community is all about deciding, I want better for my life, for everybody around me's life, and I want to be intentional about building this relationship, which builds the community.
And often when we talk about building relationships, let's dive in a little bit deeper. Can you share with us, because I know you're a storyteller and you love to tell stories, can you tell us a little bit or give us an example of a relationship that you have built over time. So we can kind of get a sense and kind of tune into how that might uh, help us.
Absolutely. I'll actually use an example of something that happened today. I work with some kids at a school, and I see them every single day. And so I was going to pick them up from their class, and we were going to go do an activity together. And when I picked this kid up, he didn't say hello. He didn't greet me. The very first thing he said to me, he goes, "Today's going to be a good day." Little kid. And I believed him immediately. And to me, it's literally about having the people in your life who can remind you of something better than how you're possibly feeling in that moment. You may have had a stressful day. You may be tired. You may be overworked. You may be having certain challenges going on in your life. But when you have people in your life that you have consistently stayed in contact with, consistently spent time with, consistently trusted, consistently have been there for you, and then they can have a word of encouragement to have your back, to let you know today is going to be a good day. It's getting reminders from the people around you to see beyond your circumstance and to let you know that everything is going to be okay, even if it doesn't feel like it right now.
Mm. You know, when you were talking about that phrase, it reminded me of someone that had that exact shirt. It's okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Fantastic. So I know that there's people out there in the audience that are saying, oh, wait, you know, I would love to build community. So can you help us? How can someone start building their community today? What does it take?
Takes effort, intentionality. It also takes clarity. See, I think sometimes people end up with, some people that refer to as, oh, I don't have any real friends, or I have fake friends, or I don't trust anybody. That is a clarity thing because you don't really know what you want. See, someone who really knows what they want knows how to go build and go get the thing that they desire. It's when we have too many desires. I want 50 things, so I'm constantly pulled in 50 directions. Well, no wonder why you're stressed out, right? Or you're worried or you're anxious because you have 50 different ideas that you're trying to do at one time. So one of the key aspects of building community is having clarity in the desired outcome and goal of that destination, of where you're really trying to go. If you're trying to go multiple places and you're listening to multiple voices who are telling you all these different things, it's going to cause more confusion, and you can't build community in a sense of confusion.
Mm, those were some wise words. You cannot build community in a sense of confusion. So let's even peel back the onion a little bit deeper. Can you help us? How would we know? Can you give us some tips here? How would we know if we're experiencing some confusion?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So one of the key things that will allow you to highlight that you've experienced some sort of confusion is if you're in constant conflict on what decision to make next. Now, people I think struggle with making a decision is because they've listened to too many voices. So it's selecting very, very small number of people that you're going to turn to and seek out advice and wisdom from. If you're seeking out the entire world for advice, you're going to get, if you ask for 1 million opinions, you're going to get 1 million different answers. And it's trying to filter through all those answers makes it much more difficult. And so it's narrowing down, I would say, what's called your key three, the three people in your life that you're going to lean on the most. Those are going to kind of be more the people you want to lean in and trust on and seek wise counsel from about what decision to make. And they're going to be the ones that can point you in that right direction.
I love that. I love that. And one thing I love about it is because it spurs another question for me to ask. And there may be some people in the audience that are thinking about that too, because a lot of us have either spiritual or religious beliefs where we are really honestly going to those first, right? We're going to God first. We're going to Buddha, Allah, whatever it is for us. We're doing that first. How do you discern We would love to know what your thoughts are. How do you discern um, who those three people, for instance, are, and how do you gain more clarity in the midst of that confusion? So I know there was a couple questions there, but so much to learn.
Great question. So for me, I was actually talking to my daughter about this the other day. She had a very difficult decision to make at school. She didn't know what to do. So I gave her my framework, and this is a very tangible framework. No matter what age and no matter what stage of life that you're in, you can apply. So for me, I make decisions based on the roles that I play in my life. So for example, how I'm going to decide what people I'm going to be listening to, there's a few questions I'm going to ask myself. Because the most important relationship in my life is my relationship with God. Is this a person of faith? Is this a person that's going to help me get closer to God?
Mm,
If the answer is yes, they're most likely a reliable source for me to lean in on.
mm,
Okay, so that's first and foremost where I go. And now every person is going to check yes to all these questions. Some of them will be yes, some of them will be no. But these are the questions that I use. Are they going to help me get closer to God? Because once that's in alignment, everything else gets better. I always start there. The next thing is, can this person help me to be a better husband, right? Are they, not all my friends are married, and that's okay, right? But can they help me to be a better husband, right? Or is it going to be something that's going to distract me from my marriage?
mm.
Can they help me be a better parent, right? Are they going to, do they value the importance of being a parent and raising children? Is that important to them? Okay. Now, like I said, not every person is going to fit all three of these. And the next one, after that is this person who has my best interest at heart, right? Do they really sincerely care about me and my success as a person, as a human being? Do they truly love me and care about me? And then shifting from there, is this person interested in helping me grow my mission and vision for my life, meaning through my business, through community service, through helping people? Is this person helping me in those areas? And those are the questions I run through in my mind, not only about the kind of friends that I have, but the people I just build relationships with, right? And if the answers are all no, then it's probably a good time to reevaluate, the people you're investing your time in, because you want to surround yourself with people who are at least doing some of those. It doesn't have to be all, but some of them are pulling you into that direction of the things that matter most in your life.
I love that. I love that. And I know the audience is going to absolutely love it too. Absolutely. So now that we kind of have an idea of what a community is, how we can start to develop it, can you help us and share what are some of those key activities that can help someone grow their community?
Absolutely. So there's quite a few things. So one thing I've noticed that's really meaningful to me is, where I live, we do a 5K walk, right? It's not even a run. We do have the run too, but we do a walk to have a sense of community with people. That it's through a children's hospital where I live in Rochester, New York. And every year we go do that. And then we invite family and friends and people that we know in the local area who want to be a part of it. And that's a really huge thing, because we're all coming together. It has nothing to do with even business in that moment. It's all about helping serve these children in need, right? So that's one thing. It's just simple things like that. It doesn't have to be that, but it's just an activity that gets you outside of yourself, right? It's something that's a give back to help other people in need, whatever that activity is. That's a huge thing that we love to do. Next thing is uh, going to events together, whether that's a conference, a retreat, a seminar, a religious service like a church, anything like that, small groups, masterminds, anything connected where people are meeting together to grow and to do better in life. Those are key aspects, whether that's just joining a Facebook group about a particular topic and just providing content and value in those groups. Any of those things are key ways to connect with people.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh my goodness. Well, before we close out today, do you have anything else that you would love to share with everyone before we close?
I would say love yourself enough to love others. So what I mean by that is, the more that you're able to first love you, like truly love yourself, the more you can actually love other people, because you're the person that you spend the most time with, because you're you and you bring you everywhere you go. So there's never going to be a person you spend more time with than yourself. If you're saying negative things about yourself, you're talking down about yourself, you're doubting yourself, you're saying terrible, mean things about yourself that you would never tolerate from anybody else. Start just loving you first. Don't bully yourself. Don't put yourself down. Speak highly of yourself. You're valuable. You are a masterpiece, and believe it, and treat people the same way. Because, the more that you love yourself, the more that your heart is prepared to love other people, because you cannot truly give what you do not have. You cannot love people effectively if you don't love yourself first. So love yourself first, and that'll prepare your heart to love the people, to build the community that you seek.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely fantastic. Where can people find you?
Yeah, they can connect with me on Facebook, Jesse Cruz, or Instagram, Jesse Cruz Speaks.
Fantastic. Well, I know that everyone is so super excited right now to go out there and start building community, or if they already have a community, to kind of listen in and see if some of these ideas that Jesse has shared with us today are really connecting with you. Again, that pen and paper, it's so important. Get it out. Jesse, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your wisdom around building community.
Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Absolutely a pleasure, and cannot wait for our future conversations. Reach out to Jesse, find out more about him, and find out how you can start building that community today. Have a great day.